All right, all right, all right. Welcome to Health Class USA. I am Shawnte with Flair, baby. Woo! I am a National Health Educator, listed owner and operator of Abundant Health Services. This is the first Saturday of November, and November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and we want to help you fire diabetes. And I want to start by playing a clip from Dr. Mark Hyman, a functional medicine um, physician who has tons of information. If you want to know about reversing type 2 diabetes naturally, I highly recommend you tap into his YouTube channel, get on his mailing list. He's definitely one of the few people that doesn't junk up your mail literally once a week on Fridays. He keeps his word. It's not no pitches, none of that kind of stuff. He just simply get right to the point, actionable things that you can do for your health right now. So, without delay, here is a clip on reversing type 2 diabetes with food from Dr. Mark Hyman with his special guest, Nina T. Schultz.
There's a whole literature on low carbohydrate diets that show them to be effective. I think probably most convincingly for the reversal of a type 2 diabetes diagnosis, for reversing that process. And that's why the American Diabetes Association has now in their guidelines is mentions not only of low carb, but of the keto diet as good viable options, and the best diet for glycemic control, which means controlling your blood sugar, which is the most important thing you can possibly do in diabetes. And also, by the way, and this is an important kind of like ancillary to what we're talking about, which is in the literature on how to avoid the worst outcomes for the coronavirus. A study recently found that what most tightly associates with, what is most associated with poor outcomes was high blood sugars upon admission to the hospital. Yes. So keeping your glycemic control in control is super important.
It's so important, yeah.
So, I mean, I think that literature, as a start, reversing diabetes in America, which is, drives the majority of healthcare costs. I think we have less clear literature that it clearly does a very good job for weight loss, but I think, we still need more literature on that. But it's clearly viable and safe, and there's long-term enough data. I mean, I'm talking 9 trials that are at least 2 years, which is considered long enough to see any negative side effects. One of the themes.
All right, all right. I hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. Thank you to all who are looking at this on YouTube right now. I appreciate you all for your continued support and for showing up for not only yourself, but this will impact your family. So as I said earlier, I am Shawnte, the owner and operator of Abundant Health Services. So today we're talking about firing diabetes. You guys know this is America's shortest health class, so I will not be before you long. So I have 5 quick tips, and I also have a bonus tip that that's more like something that I want you to watch out for. So let's start with tip number 1, resistant starch. So I am a firm believer in running a strong health offense. Don't wait to get diabetes, prevent it. You can prevent it, but you can also reverse it if you're someone that is suffering with it, or if you have a loved one or someone that you know of that's looking for, a more natural approach to, managing and dealing with this type 2 diabetes. Resistant starch. What is that? I'm glad you asked. So you can pretty much make any starch, any type of like pasta, specifically if you're someone that loves pasta, if you're someone that loves to eat that type of food, or if you consume it regularly, maybe once or 3 or 4 times a week, here's how you make it become a resistant starch so that it won't have that glycemic effect that is detrimental to your health and not good for someone who has diabetes or wants to prevent diabetes or reverse it. So let's say, how we cook pasta, right? If you were to put it in a refrigerator and allow it to, or some people put it in the freezer, but making it cold, getting the pasta to be cold before you serve it, cool it off. And then if you want to heat it up later, that's one thing, but you need to fully cool off. Like it needs to get actually cold, like by refrigeration, or like I said, or if you put it in the freezer and then take it back out for it to be consumed later, that will turn it into a resistant starch. A resistant starch is your friend. Listen, the gut bacteria that will help you fight and reset and turn the tides in this diabetes fight and prevention, that's what you need. Resistant starch feeds the good guys and starves the bad guys. That's the easiest way that I could break that down, and I hope that that's clear. So resistant starch. So if you're a pasta lover like me, or someone who doesn't want to give up your pasta, and I'm saying even if you're doing these veggie based pastas and things like that, resistant starch will work on your behalf if you want to prevent type 2 diabetes or reverse type 2 diabetes. I'm a big fan of resistant starch. So with that being said, let me move on to our next tip, magnesium. A lot of people don't realize that there's a connection between hypertension and type 2 diabetes. And typically, a lot of people who have hypertension eventually get type 2 diabetes, either from the medications or just the lifestyle, because the two are so closely linked. And not to mention, many people don't realize that some scientists actually consider Alzheimer's a third form of type 3 diabetes. They're linked. And magnesium is such an important compound, and it's one that we neglect the most in first world countries. Magnesium definitely has a major effect upon your, journey towards, diabetes, or your journey away. You have to make sure that you patch up that diabetes. Is something that you can do with pumpkin. It's something that you can patch up. Forgot my train right there. You can patch it up with ease magnesium, but you can also do it with food, dark leafy greens. But pumpkin is your best friend. And you know what? This November, I don't think there's a coincidence that Diabetes Awareness Month is also in the month of November. Why? What season are we in? We have so much access to pumpkins during this time of year, during the autumn and during fall. So pumpkins is something that can help you patch this magnesium gap up. Just because you have type 2 diabetes, you don't have to keep it. If it runs in your family, if you know that maybe you've had ultra processed foods for your fair share of time on this earth, you want to make sure you're doing things to turn off diabetes. You don't want to be pre-diabetic. You don't want to be type 2 diabetic. And just because they gave it to you doesn't mean that you have to keep it. Give it back. I continue, and I will continue to the day that I die. Just because they gave you that disease don't mean you got to keep it. So if they gave you pre-diabetes, listen, just like the Dalai Lama said, thank you, but no thank you. Give it back. If they gave you pre-hypertension, listen, thank you, but no thank you. Give it back to them. So these are all simple tips to help you give back pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, and help you get out of the pipeline so that you don't end up with type 3 diabetes, which is what some scientists and physicians call early onset dementia and Alzheimer's. Next, vitamin D3. All right, let me go ahead and pull out my, excuse me, sorry y'all, vitamin D3. You don't have to wait. You don't have to try to, I hope that it's clear. I feel like it's not. My filter is, hopefully it's visible. Hope you got to see. Orange. I personally like the grapefruit. I don't like grapefruit, but I like the grapefruit flavor of it because it's the 1-2 punch that I get with my immune system, as well as making sure that I am turning off. Listen, vitamin D3, when you get it naturally, like I believe in food-based type of supplements. It's not truly like a supplement, but it's food-based. All right. So now I'm drinking this vitamin D3. I'm also getting it packaged with K2. Diabetes, for it to exist, it does not like a healthy supply of vitamin D3. If you are wondering if your vitamin D3 levels are low, take your thumbs and lightly press it on your shin bone, all right, which is like your lower leg, that major bone right there in the middle. If you take your kneecap and you trace it all the way down with your thumb and get down to the middle of it, Guess what? If you lightly press on that and you feel pain, or you feel like some significant enough discomfort, it hurts a bit, it should not hurt. Listen, that means that your vitamin D3 levels are not where they need to be. Your vitamin D levels, period. So you see, I just gave you a little cheat code that we use in sports medicine. I promise you. Yes, Miss Katrina is a living testimony. And she said, this vitamin D3, I promise you, I don't play when it comes down to my athletes. Well, for one, I would be fired if I had tools that didn't work like quickly. So within a week's time, I promise you, liquid vitamin D3, don't play with it. The pills, I never found one that worked. It didn't work for me personally. Didn't too many variables. People give you fake products and all of this. It's best to get it from food. I highly recommend, if you can afford, listen, if find a way to afford it. It's 20 bucks. The best 20 bucks you're going to spend to make sure, especially if you're a person of color, because you already got built-in vitamin D blocker. So you definitely probably need to supplement it. And especially if you're in a colder climate where you have even less access, I promise you, this vitamin D3, the liquid form, it's not only good for diabetes, this is something also that's good for your heart. I hope you guys are starting to see a trend that a lot of things that turn off heart disease and hypertension also turns off diabetes. But that vitamin D3 is a wonder twin to help you prevent diabetes. Don't wait to get it. Turn it off. It's time for you to tell diabetes you're fired. Fire it with this vitamin D3. And I highly recommend the spray. I don't know what you're getting in them pill forms, but when you're getting it for real, from real food, a real food source, drink your vitamin D3. Drink your vitamin D3, and you're getting the vitamin K2 and a rich supply of zinc. So not only are you helping your immune system, you're also making sure that you're feeding the good guys so that they can help you fire diabetes. All right, next tip. Sleep with an infusion of nitric oxide. Very easy to do. It's one of the same recommendations that I give when it comes down to turning off hypertension, which is that 4-7-8 deep breathing method, deep breathing meditation right before bed. It is so key. So please, 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 doing the 4-7-8 deep breathing meditation is something that will truly help you. It will help you when it comes down to, excuse me, when it comes down to naturally reversing, allowing your body while you sleep to work on your behalf. Listen, the nitric oxide is going to help your army make sure that your A1C level is where it needs to be, and to kick the butt of anything that is trying to, what I call your diabetes gang. It's going to kick their behind. You want nitric oxide working for you at night, right before you go to bed. So you're breathing in for 4 counts. You're holding it for 7 counts and breathing out slowly for 8 counts. It's the 4-7-8 deep breathing meditation. You repeat that 4 times right before bed. That's it. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of what it's like. So I'm just simply going to breathe in, and I'll be holding my fingers up counting. All right. Ready? And just like that. It's called the 4-7-8. So I breathed in through my nostrils for 4. I held it for 7, and I breathed out through my mouth for 8 counts. You do that 4 times right before your bed. It's going to give you a rich supply of nitric oxide, which is going to go and give that boom, boom, pow to pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. So again, don't wait to get it. Listen, prevent it. All right. So sweet potato. So some people are looking like, oh, I don't want to give up like fries or things like that. There's sweet potato fries. Sweet potato is not the friend of diabetes. Diabetes don't want it. Diabetes don't want that smoke when it comes down to sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes is usually something that people enjoy. So maybe you're someone that likes baked potatoes. Okay, do a baked sweet potato. Maybe you're someone that likes to have sides and things like that. All right, so find one of those recipes that you like that typically you would use potatoes for. Use sweet potatoes. Use sweet potatoes. Substitute the other potatoes for sweet potato. Sweet potato turns off and fires diabetes. It also helps to prevent it. So if you ain't got it, listen, intertwine sweet potato at some point during the month. I intentionally have sweet potato at least 4 times a month. Every week I make sure that I'm getting some sweet potato into my system. Why? Because I don't want diabetes. I want to prevent it. So I'm running a solid health offense to prevent it. So help your loved ones, help yourselves. Listen, I hope that you guys are enjoying Health Class USA. My last tip and my most important one on this list is cinnamon. And not just cinnamon any type of way. I'm talking about 4 teaspoons of cinnamon with 4 bags of green tea every day until your A1C gets below the number that it needs to be, which we definitely want it to be under 6. All right. There's all kind of trackers that you can get that can monitor your A1C in real time. But here's the strategy. If you have pre-diabetes, if you have type 2 diabetes, I'm not telling you about something that I heard. I'm telling you about somebody that came into me that was in one of my health masterminds specifically for diabetes reversal. And that will be coming back in April. After April 27th, I will be bringing back those diabetes reversal classes. And those are 5-week terms that you can sign up for if you or someone that you love, that if you want to know natural ways. But this lady came in with an A1C of 13. And if I don't know if you understand diabetes, but that's not good. That's really, really bad. Before she finished my term, guess what? I had her under, and I mean, she went to her doctor. I had her going, you got to know your health numbers. And they straight up told her, even halfway through, she went and they were like, I don't know what you're doing, but whatever it is you're doing, you need to keep doing it. You know, one of my main secret weapons was, one, I ensured that she was getting enough water. Water will fight for you. And the water you put in your green tea counts. So you don't have to do 4 separate. I happen to like tea, so I can do 4 separate. But you can open up 4 green tea bags, put them in 1 cup. So that way it is super potent. Put 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. And I'm talking about not sometimes, every single day. I promise you, you will see that A1C move the other way. Listen, cinnamon is one of your most potent. You can do cinnamon extract. You can do, I feel like it's cheaper and easier to just go ahead and do cinnamon. Like I do cinnamon straight up. Cinnamon also turns off hypertension as well. I don't play. And listen, cinnamon ain't come to play. It is one of the most potent butt kickers of hypertension and diabetes. I also have a friend who had a daughter with it. Guess what? Guess how she got rid of it for her daughter? It was the cinnamon. Hands down, the cinnamon and the green tea. The green tea is rich with antioxidants, but more importantly, you got the power of the green tea mixed with the power of the cinnamon. Diabetes ain't got nowhere to go but to get up out of here. And I'm happy to say, guess what? This person was able to wean herself off of her diabetes medication, and she now has a healthy A1C. Not only that, as I've been posting content over the past 2 years about diabetes, I had someone who was silently watching me, who sent me a message and literally did what I said. For 3 months, he was able to get his doctor, took him off his diabetes medication. Why? Because he incorporated everything that I had said, which was he started walking 20 minutes a day. He started doing the 4 bags of green tea every single day. And not just any green tea. Yes, regular green tea is fine, but if you were willing to make one of those bags a ginger green tea, one of those bags a turmeric green tea, it will help you get there even faster. And when pomegranate is in season, one of those bags being pomegranate green tea, and the other one can be regular or whatever flavor of green tea you like, but it really needs to be green tea. 4 bags in 1 cup with 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. Listen, Go ahead and mix that bad boy up and drink it every day. And in 90 days, guess what? He had a healthy A1C and he was off of his diabetes medication. You can fire diabetes. If they gave it to you, give it back. What you holding on to it for? God came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Listen, abundant health is yours. You have work to do. Your life has purpose. It has meaning. We need you in this world. There's something that only you can do in the earth. And we need you to be here to do it. And you can't do it if you have diabetes cutting you short, if you have Alzheimer's cutting down your service short. So here's the thing. I'm going to recap. We want to patch up our magnesium deficiencies, patch up our vitamin D3 deficiencies. We want to sleep with a fresh dose of nitric oxide by doing the 478 deep breathing meditation. And then we want to make sure if we're doing starch, we make it a resistant starch. And if we need to have potato, if we want to have something that is powerful to reverse it, we want to have sweet potato, not white potato. And then last but not least, we need the 4 tablespoons of cinnamon with green tea every single day, even if you want to start with just 1 bag of green tea. I highly recommend you do 4 if you have diabetes or if you're pre-diabetic and you want to get off the medication. If you want to get it under control, those 4 bags of green tea with 4 teaspoons of cinnamon, I promise you that thing will reverse it. I love y'all. I'm going to open the floor. I'm over my time. I normally do a 10-minute health class, but I really just wanted to make sure we had a full package. I wanted you armed and ready to help you and your loved ones fire diabetes. So I apologize. Our special guest wasn't able to make it today, but I hope that you got a whole lot of value. I know I just tried to make sure I unloaded the clip so that you can get started with simple things. I gave you 5 tips to fire type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes. Now, my bonus is I want to make sure that you check the high fructose corn syrup and things that are not sweet. Any food that you're having that you're unsure, please just do me this favor for the next few months or whenever you see this video, the replay. Please check to make sure there's no high fructose corn syrup in it. There's a lot of people that's ending up with type 2 diabetes and are not, they're like, I don't eat a lot of sweets. I don't understand. And they don't realize that these fake food companies have put high fructose corn syrup and they're hiding it in savory, salty food. So people are eating foods that are not sweet foods, but it's loaded with sugar. And in some cases, it has more sugar than freaking Oreo cookies and stuff like that. So please turn over your packages. Look at the things that you're eating and make sure that if it's a non-sugar food, that it doesn't have that high fructose corn syrup in it. If it has high fructose corn syrup in it, know that you need to look at it like, okay, I'm having a candy bar. It's even worse than the other sugary foods. All right, because they're putting it in things that there's no need for it to be in, only to make you get hungry and turn off and for it to override certain hormones like your satiety hormones. That's why they do it. They understand the power of high fructose corn syrup. So please start checking your savory foods, your salty foods, to make sure that you check the sugar content that these people have started to put in it. I never thought I would come to the day where I got to warn people to look and check non-sweet foods for sugar content. I love you guys. I want to open the floor for any questions before we end our Health Class USA, and I want us all to set a health intention. Thank you for joining me. Any questions, you can unmute.
This is Talisa. I wanted you to just remind me again, when is the next your next diabetes coaching program? I have a family who suffers with diabetes, chronic diabetes, and I think this is going to be a game changer for us.
Awesome. So our next official public open class is going to be April the 27th. But if there's at least 3 or more people, I can cultivate and create a class specifically for your families. I like to do it in the fall, so I could certainly do something sooner if you have a small group of people or family members that would like to have a course custom made for you guys. It'll be the same thing that we do in April if you don't want to wait that long. So you could certainly message me and we can set that up, and we can get started and create that schedule, and it'll be a class just for you and your family or friends, whoever wants to do. But we do custom group classes just like that off our normal schedule.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Any questions before I ask you guys what your health intention is going to be?
Hi, this is Katrina, and I don't have a question. I just wanted to just say with the vitamin D3, I do concur with that because you actually instructed me to get that vitamin D3 spray with the K2 vitamin. And let me tell you something, it has been a game changer for me. I was scared going to the doctor to get my blood work done last month, and for them to come back and tell me that my vitamin D was good, it was mind blowing. So I just want to say thank you so much, and it does work. So I just wanted to just make that knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you so very much. Vitamin D is so important. It's so important. I just can't. I wish I could sing this from the mountaintops and show people like how important, and on it has a liquid form. So it's not like you're taking some fake supplement. Like, I am a big believer in getting your supplementation through food, and they have made a food. It's literally something that you drink. You literally drink it. It is the bomb, and I highly recommend that you guys get on the right path and prevent diabetes. Fire it if you have it. Fire it and give it back. And that vitamin D3 is an important part of that process. Even if you have gestational diabetes, which is pregnancy induced diabetes, you don't have to keep it. You can naturally get rid of it. So vitamin D3 could be that natural, it's a natural form that can help you get rid of it. So thank you guys so very much. And so now we are at our next phase. I would like to know, and I will start with myself. Oh, where did my little pen go? I just had, okay, here we go. Got my Wonder Woman pen, y'all. So I would like us all to set a health intention. Miss Katrina, are you still there? Okay, I was going to ask her how did she do with her health intention. I know for me, I did not meet my health goal, which was to make sure I slept enough every single day. And I will put that back on the list. I just cleared my schedule in many ways so that I can ensure. So I am going to now start over with 5 days a week. I want to get enough sleep, and that means at least 7 hours of sleep 5 nights a week. So that is my health intention. Miss Talisa, would you like to give us your health intention for this month? We ask that you set at least one health goal, and then you report back to us next month, and let us know if you kept it.
Yes, my goal is to get to 100 ounces of water a day. That's my goal.
Awesome. I love it. So I'm going to keep Katrina's goal the same. So that's 100 ounces of water for you per day. And I'm looking forward to December's testimony of hearing that. And I'm hoping to give you guys a testimony on my weekday sleep goal, because that's what that is. So if there's no further comments or questions, that is our Health Class USA and our Health Mastermind for today. Is there anything else that you'd like to say, Ms. Lisa?
Nothing but thankful that you have this platform. It has been an eye-opener for me. And I am making more conscious decisions about what I'm intaking now because of it. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so very much. And thank you for attending Health Class USA. I'll see you guys next month. Thank you. Have a great day.